And hello, everybody. It is Thursday, November 18th, and we are back. We are back. Another weekly real estate update. We took last week off. It was Remembrance Day, number one, and I was away at a conference, but we are back. And I'll tell you, there are some crazy stats I'm about to show up on the screen. But first, my good buddy, my partner in crime, Jaden Bax, as a beautiful new addition to the family. So congrats to you and Paula on the arrival of Jonah. Woohoo!
Thank you very much, Jonah Elliott Bax, and born on Remembrance Day. So it was a good thing we took last week off because I wasn't showing up. I'll tell you
No,
that.
exactly. It would have been me solo from the pool in Vegas. So
That's right.
would have been me from my room. But congratulations! So excited for you guys, and yeah, it's going well, I hear.
No, life is perfect, buddy. And it's, just so fortunate. I think both of us to do what we do. Love working with people, love working, meeting new people. And I love working from home so that I get to spend my time with my boy. I feel like, both my boys is such a blessing. And I haven't had to have any real service interruptions, right? Being able to work from home and just kind of like we talk about a lot, the systems we put in place over the last couple of years. It's just been fantastic.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds good. Well, congrats again. Let's do some work here. Let's show people some stats. And yeah, I'll tell you, when I was compiling this just before we went live, I got to tell you, this is quite something. All right. So detached stats, as we always talk about on the show. Check this out. So we don't have last week in here, but for the last 7 days, 194 new listings, 282 sales, 116 pendings. So we got about 398, not about, we got 398 sold plus pending. Net difference of 204. But I want you to take a look down here at these detached listings. 1577. Compare that to 5-6 weeks ago, 2276. And then our total listings, 4111, down almost like 600-700 listings from 2 weeks ago. It's crazy. So it's still a seller's market, and it doesn't, there are certainly categories like apartment condos that there's still oversupply. But I just listed a property today up in Cochrane, a semi-detached. And there's really, even in Cochrane, there's not a lot on the market for even that kind of product, let alone detached. So crazy, decline in new listings coming on, particularly in detached. And so that means we're still firmly in this seller's market, and there's just too many sales happening for it to kind of balance itself out right now, certainly on the detached side of things. So again, if we compare to 5 weeks ago for total listings, we're almost 1,000 or 1,200 listings less than late September, early October. That is just, it's just craziness. We know why the sales are happening, because of interest rates. It's not necessarily job growth. But we don't necessarily know why people aren't deciding to sell. It might be because there's nothing to buy. But you know what? That's why you employ a realtor like me, who can find you something off market that we can work with on that side of things. So pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, that's nuts. And you know what? I've seen it. I've seen it in practice. So my sister lives in row housing in Airdrie, and really love where they live. Beautiful backyard, right beside a school. Place 4 doors down from them, sold in less than 24 hours over list price, right? And that's a row housing, right? Like, it's just in Airdrie, it's crazy what's happening right now.
Yeah, and I know the Airdrie market well, as we've talked about many times. I lived up there for a couple of years. That kind of product 2-3 years ago, you were 60 days, 90 days on the market. Even if you're priced right, there just was not the demand. So to go back to a couple of weeks ago, what's happening with row townhouses, semi-detached, is because there's so much pressure on detached listings. and the prices have gone up. That has priced some, let's call it, maybe it's a first-time buyer, it's priced them out of the detached market. So they're opting for a row townhouse or a semi-detached. And in Airdrie and in Cochrane in particular, and southern portions of Calgary, these builders are now building them, and they're not condos, which is huge, right? Because Jayden can talk about how condo fees affect mortgage approvals. So you just don't have that. So my listing at 209 Clydesdale Avenue, a little plug here in Cochrane in Heartland, great little community, no condo fees, 380. So that's going to attract, maybe a first-time buyer, maybe a move-up buyer from a condo, might even be a downsizer, but it's a great price point to be in. So if you're in a row townhouse or semi-detached right now, this market has affected you in a positive way if you're looking at selling as well. So anyway.
Yeah, and the whole condo point you bring up, it's not just about what the condo fee is, it's how the condo is managed. And that's where we run into the most problems, right? So, I had a guy who put in an offer, really wanted to live downtown Calgary, looking at that, gets to condo doc review, and it was a quick no, a very quick no, because you could see there was no reserve funds. There was issues with the condo board in general. So yeah, I totally agree with you on that non-condo product out there. Really, really easy to move right now from a financing perspective as well.
Yeah, and I would just add in, sorry, I was going to add in one more thing. I think generally you will pay a little bit more for a non-condo row townhouse or semi-detached, but the upside is always the upside, right? Like Jayden talked about with the mortgage approval, you don't have that condo fee, and we know they always go up. I've experienced one condo in my career where the fee went down, and that's down in Okotoks and Tucker Circle. But that's an anomaly. Normally they go up. So anyway, enough said about that. Rates.
Yeah. So we're back to rates, and probably people are going to be a little bit disappointed. This is like rates are going up. They're going up. They're still sub 3%. They're still fantastic. 2.44 on a 5-year fix, I think, is just great value still. But let's come back to it again. Variable, 5-year variable on a high ratio, so less than 20% down. 1.15. The discount on prime is so incredible right now at prime minus 1.3 that it would take 5 interest rate hikes and you wouldn't get to what a 5-year fixed is. Isn't that incredible?
So can I ask you a question on that? Because we've talked about that before. When you say interest rate hikes, like as an example, how many have there been? Well, obviously the rates have been going down. But in past years when they go up, how many interest rate hikes are there per year?
So they review it 8 times a year. The Bank of Canada does, and they're not setting prime. What they're setting is what's called the overnight rate, and that's what prime is based on. And so that kind of moves. Everybody kind of moves in conjunction with this overnight rate. They pretty aggressively moved that down during COVID. So we've probably seen 5 or 6 rate drops in that time, kind of since pre-COVID till now. But not all at once. It's not all done in a 1-year thing, and we really anticipate that prime is going to go up next year. We don't just anticipate it; we could almost guarantee that prime is going to go up next year. But for our clients who are buying intelligently and leaving a little bit of room in their ratios that aren't overextended, we qualify everybody based on them paying an interest rate of 5.25%. So the gap is 4.1%. We qualify you based on you having to go up 4%, which is like if your variable interest rate goes up above 5%, we've got other problems in the economy in Canada, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
so the bank meets 8 times a year. They're not going to raise it 6 times next year. You might see 2 or 3 raises, but even let's say if you have 3 raises next year, you're still paying 1.8%, or excuse me, 1.9%. That's phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
So really see value there. Of course, again and again, we're going to talk about it. The penalty, 3 months interest. We know what the penalty is. Just really amazing value in that variable right now, and amazing in the variable uninsurable. So 1.45% when you can have a 30-year amortization. It's just phenomenal value there.
Awesome. We were, prior to us doing this live, we were on the phone because him and I talk all the time.
Probably too much for our own good, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But talk real briefly. We got about a minute left here. Talk briefly about your trades guy, or you're wanting to do an upgrade to your home. You do a lot of refinancing as well. So talk to people a little bit about that and what they can do if they want to stay in their house and upgrade their kitchen or do their basement.
Totally. So they're talking to our good buddy Martine, and they say, you know what, I've been in this house for 20 years, and I've never developed my basement, and it's just such a wasted space. I've got all my junk there, and it's just piling up. And you know what, it's beautiful walkout basement. I'm thinking that I'll probably be in this place for another 10 years. I'd like to sell it, but I'd also like to add some value to my place. I'd like to enjoy it while I have it. Also like to add value for my place when I sell it. But I just don't have any cash on hand. Well, if you've been in that house for 20 years, it's probably gone up in value quite a bit, number one. Number two, you've probably paid it down quite aggressively. So you could definitely go to your bank, ask for a line of credit that you'll be paying 7% on and do it that way. Or you can refinance and be paying sub 3% interest rates to get the money you need out of there to finish that basement, add value. Very simple process. Very happy to help anybody who's doing any kind of renovation and you're looking at a loan to do that. I think you've got to be talking to a mortgage broker first. Don't go to your bank and get that 7% line of credit. Come and talk to us, and let's get you, take out some of the equity from your home and add value in your home at the same moment, right?
Awesome. Yeah. That is perfect. That's a great idea. So get in touch with Jayden on all your mortgage questions, myself for all your real estate questions. Listen, if you want just an updated home value, it's really not a problem. Contact me. Happy to help out. Jayden's great for the refinances, for the new purchases. And I think we'll wrap it up for there this week. We will see what happens with listings next week. I'm not expecting a great turnaround here. So sellers, give me a call, because if you want to sell, there's still no better time in the last probably 10 years, 7 to 10 years to look at selling in Calgary. So with that, everyone have a great day, and we will talk to you all next week.